And so Venezuela has been classified 3 years in a row by the United States as a country that is not also cooperating with the fight against drug trafficking. And that's because it suspended the relationship with the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration of the United States, because it caught them spying and engaging in acts of sabotage in Venezuela. And in fact, when you look at the statistics, since suspending the relationship with the DEA, Venezuela's counter-drug measures and organisms and the National Guard and their office again that combats drug trafficking has actually been able to improve and increase the amount of drug shipments that have been confiscated and the work that it's doing to combat drug trafficking. It does a lot better job without the hand of the United States meddling in there. So the third area is military. What we've seen since 2006 has been an increase in U.S. military presence in the region. This is important for people in the United States to know that, you know, the U.S. is not just sending everybody over to Iraq, and it's not exhausting its military power. It's shifting a lot of it down to Latin America, and this has been since 2006 as we see the discourse becoming more hostile towards Venezuela, as we see other nations electing presidents aligning with this same or similar type of vision of liberating Latin America, you know, of integrating Latin America, of building a regional bloc in Latin America, economic, social, and cultural, that can act on its own and then negotiate on maybe more equal terms with a superpower like the United States, but certainly not to be subjected to the U.S. agenda and to U.S. interests and imposed upon by superpowers like the United States. The military presence has mainly focused around the Caribbean area, where the U.S. maintains many military bases. On the islands right off the coast of Venezuela, Curacao. How many of you know where Curacao is? It's okay. Okay, that's good geography class. Well, it's right off the coast of Venezuela, off the western north coast. You know, Venezuela's a Caribbean nation as well as Andean, and in that area where Curacao is also right north of where Venezuela's most developed oil industry is, in the states of Zulia and Falcón, and where Lake Maracaibo is, which is the largest lake of its type in Latin America. It's a very important strategic area, and it borders Colombia. So we've got military bases on the island of Curacao, which still is classified as part of the Dutch kingdom. So you can imagine Curacao, Aruba, Bonaire, which are the ABC islands as they call them, which are actually very, very tiny. Curacao has less than 200,000 residents, inhabitants. Yet they have this massive U.S. military base, and it's been growing over the past 2 years. And as being part of the Dutch kingdom, that means they are part of NATO. And so NATO is using the area, and it's not just them, it's also the French. There's all these colonies still down in the Caribbean. These are all colonized nations, you know, in the Caribbean by the French, by the British, by the United States, and by the Dutch. And they operate as part of NATO, and so they allow in this ring, which is all Venezuela has a maritime territory almost as large as its land territory. It borders Puerto Rico. It goes up that far, bordering Puerto Rico, and as low as bordering Curacao and Trinidad and Tobago, where the U.S. also has military bases. And they've been increasing this presence, either large or medium-sized bases or small operative bases, where they've been bringing down warships. And in fact, in 2006, they conducted several exercises, which they're still conducting today, which are like these simulated, those are fictitious, allegedly, exercises to combat a terrorist threat in the region, while they're conditioning public opinion to, you know, relate Venezuela to terrorism, relate Venezuela to the FARC, Iran. You know, sometimes you get crazies that slip into stuff in the media like Pat Robertson, who say that Venezuela is building a bomb with Iran to blow up the United States, but still some people believe it, whether or not it's us. There are some that do. It gets on Fox News, and I was told, I'm not sure if this is true, but somebody told me recently that Fox News is the most watched station in the United States. Is that true? On cable, on most watched cable station. That's incredibly frightening, because they are also obviously a station of disinformation, massive disinformation to justify U.S. aggression around the world, basically. And in any case, I'm going to sum up and end in a minute.